Now before I move on to the long side stocks, I'm going to go ahead and go back to HGSI, and I'm going to generate the short side group inclusion report also. So what I do is I have to clear everything out of here. So I just click on the clear button, and then I load the selection. This time I'm going to use view number 2 or file number 2, and these are groups that are oriented towards the short side. I'll click on this, just type short in here, and once again 50 stocks. I have 2 group inclusion reports that I just overwrite, so I'll just click on the GIR short and go ahead and generate that. Now here is the long side, here is the short side. I'm using Google Chrome. Now the first thing you'll probably notice is that on the short side we don't have nearly as many groups, and the reason for that is we don't have as many smart groups which are oriented towards the downside. But you can see in the first one, CX, moving down, box and stocks and groups, potential short sale stocks, stocks moving to the downside, a couple of those groups, breakdown from squeeze, mobile breakdown, and M&K code red pocket pivots, combo driven. Now I'm going to go back to my industry groups, and you can see that here is the top 50 and here is the short version. Now these both have the number 1 behind them because I already generated them earlier in the day, but I just wanted to take you through the process to show you how I generate these. So I'm going to click on this. There are 50 securities in here, 51 counting the index, and I'll click through to the warehouse. Now I am going to be working from this folder right now. These are in the Ron Brown Insider Club dated 2017-08-10. These will remain with that date until I reorganize everything. I do add all the time, and they are added currently to this group, which was produced on the 8th of August. I'm sorry, on the 10th of August. I am not going to change the date every week. It just becomes too confusing, so I would rather just add new views, filters, combos, and charts to the existing one until I make an announcement that there's going to be a reorganizational change. Now getting back to this and looking at this scorecard, the first thing that pops out to me is all of the green. What this immediately tells me is that these are strong stocks. The relative strength rank is above 80 for most of these stocks. The EPS rank is generally green. Accumulation is generally green, either A or B. The stocks are above the volume point of control. 10-day, other than this one, which is 0. But it's just green all over. A lot of green in the VPA signal condition and the last VPA signal, and in the trends, the long, the medium, and the short. Now this is driven by the combo. Notice that I'm sorted on raw combo, and Netflix is at the top of the list. It was at the top of the GIR. It doesn't always work out that way, but in this instance it did. Now let's take a quick look at the combo that I have attached to here. It's the demand end of day, and you can see that I use primarily technical fields within HGSI, force index, 2 and 13, white body, industry percentage price change. Here's a fundamental rank, EPS rank, and here's another fundamental indicator, return on equity also, primarily technicals. And this is a combo that I've used for years. I developed it many years ago. It worked extremely well, so I just kept on using it. Now you could just do all of your prospecting and get a lot of information just from this. Now the industry I can sort on. This is the index right here, but you can see where the strength was yesterday based upon certain industries. I always like to bring the spectrum analyzer up and then just go to the industry field, click on that, and I get a visual breakdown of any group of stocks. And you can see the dominant groups in the top 50 are the semiconductors, the biotech, with only 3 apiece. So nothing that definitive, but we know there are strengths in that area, or those areas. Now I'm going to come back to this scorecard in another video, but I do want to point out the contrast between the top 50 group inclusion report long and short. Now look at the contrast. Totally different picture of what's happening in the market. And notice all of the red here. These are generally weak stocks. What does this tell us? It tells us that on the long side group inclusion report that stocks that are in an uptrend continue or generally continue to go up. Not always, and you want to buy them right. And stocks that are in the top 50 short, these are generally, or more often than generally, they are weak stocks and they're going down. We see some green over here in the trends, but the primary direction is down. Also notice that in the VPA signal conditions and description, most of these are either yellow or red, and if there's nothing here, it generally means that stock hasn't traded long enough to generate a signal. In HGSI, until you have 120 days of data, VPA flags will not be generated. Now I'm going to jump back to the long side and end this video here. I'll continue this in the next video. Remember, I'm trying to keep these videos around 5 or 6, 7 minutes long.